Fool from the OPTC family here, and welcome to my top 15 legends list based on captain ability, special ability, game with Clearrate, and my opinion how they're going to succeed against Colosseum units. And I discussed this with my friends as well, so I think this list is pretty good, and if you have a different opinion, then you should probably uninstall and never play this game again because you have no idea how the game works. Yeah, let's get right into it. Oh my god. On 15th place, I have Magellan. Game with Clearrate is unsure yet because they didn't test everything yet, and not everything came out since he came out. I think he has a lot of potential, but I'm not sure of how good he is because his attack boost is really low though, and he's like kinda like a zombie captain, so you just deal the damage with his special and that's it. But he has a lot of potential, probably good to be combined with zombie captains as well, and his special is just crazy good. And because he's striker, he has a lot of options because striker is the strongest class in the game in Japan, in my opinion. In global it's the weakest, but in Japan you can combine him with Anal, Shiraoshi, Nekomamushi, who else? Barto, or even 6-star the new 6-star law that came out on global might come out in Japan anyways. So yeah, you have so many options, and I think he's great. But I can't really, it's hard to tell how good he actually is because the percent HP cut makes it difficult to stall in forests. Now 14th place is our crybaby Shiraoshi. She's mainly in this list because she is really good sub. She has the best special for forests and the second best overall in the game. Awesome unit, I want her, and her voice is awesome as well though. And since a good example of how good she actually is that since she came out, Barto got to a 100% clear rate, and before she was out he was like on a 90% clear rate, which isn't that good. And her captain ability gets used more often now because stuff like Magellan came out, and zombie captains start clearing stuff rather quick actually, compared to back in the days. But yeah, that's it about Shiraoshi. Next up we have Log Luffy. He's kinda sad that he's only 13th place, but what can I say, his captain ability is still top tier. Awesome captain ability, can compete with all the new legends easily. In terms of captain ability, he's a global, universal booster. Has a insane damage output, and because you only need 3 units to deal damage, you can take 3 subs and don't lose out on damage. But also this is a big drawback because when you have to clear 6 units at once, you're kinda screwed. And when you have something like barriers, for good barriers, for example, for 5 times you have to hit good and then you deal damage, you're kinda screwed. So you have to combine him with Blackbeard, which works, but it's not the best thing, obviously, but it works. Next up I have Doflamingo. He has a 98% clear rate on game width, which is actually surprisingly high. He only couldn't clear 1 forest. So yeah, that shows that he is actually a good captain if you're a skilled player. And if you played a lot with Log Luffy, you can use him as captain if you want. because since you played with Log Luffy, you know that hitting perfect isn't actually that difficult. It's all about your mind. It's the mind games that make it hard to hit the perfects, because you know that you have to hit the perfects. But he's also on this list because of his special. By the way, Log Luffy's special isn't obviously the best, but that's why he's not higher on the list. But Doflamingo special, best special in the game, orb boost and orb manipulation. Awesome unit for any team. For a good example of how good Joker actually is how I cleared the invasion rates. I cleared invasion Whitebeard with Whitebeard, Log Luffy, Fujitora and Jimbei, and I needed 6-star Dofi in 3 out of those 4 teams. I only didn't need him in the Jimbei team, but oh man, but Fujitora wouldn't have needed him as well though. And invasion in Shanks I cleared with Fujitora, Jimbei and Log Luffy, and Fuji and Log Luffy both needed 6-star plus Dofi, so he actually is a really good unit. And next up we have Rakuchi. Plus, obviously, he is awesome. He has a pretty high clear rate though, with 95%, even though you can't heal with him, because he's Powerhouse, which is one of the stronger classes. He is extremely good, and especially due to the Powerhouse ship, the Rocket Man, which makes Powerhouse stronger than the other classes, other than Striker in my opinion, because pretty much all classes have really strong units, but Powerhouse just has that awesome ship. And yeah, he deals a ton of damage with his new captain ability. His special gives him an 80% chance of landing on a matching orb, and with the socket on level 3, the matching orb socket level 3, you have a 90% chance of getting a matching orb. So chances of you getting a matching orb are quite high, and he obviously isn't made for forests, but his Colosseum clear is just amazing, especially due to his special. You can clear out stage 3 and stage 4 with his special, then go to stage 5 with everything sorry, everything else up. And his forest clear, like I said, is, even though he isn't made for forests, he actually cleared I think 11 out of 12 forests, so this is actually crazy. The only one he didn't clear was the Shanks forest, I think, because he doesn't have a good way to get rid of poison, I guess. But other than that, he cleared all the forests, which just shows how good he actually is. And yeah, next up I have Korean Hard Law. Maybe Rakuchi is better, I don't know, but I have him on 10th place. Awesome attack boost with a nice side effect that you can heal with perfects. But the problem here is that you actually need to hit perfects, so you will kill your enemies while you're healing. So you can't really stall that much better due to this in forests, but other than that, it's awesome. He definitely will clear out the raids without any problem, I guess, because he has insane burst and no real drawback for the raids. And Colosseum, he should be fine as well, and his special is awesome as well, but attack boost would have been better, obviously, than orb boost, because to boost the damage from your characters with orb boost, you actually need a matching orb. Without matching orbs, the orb boost won't help you at all. But still, awesome special. And they obviously gave him an orb boost instead of attack boost, because Striker has one of the best attack boosters in the game with Rapos Aokichi who locks your orbs and boosts, so this is just so good. With double law you can just have, and Shiroshi, you can just have 3 turns of full matching orbs, 2 turns of attack boost and 2 turns of orb boost, so awesome unit. I think he's gonna do well, and he is striker, like I said. On Magellan, striker is awesome. You can combine their captains with so many different other captains, which makes them really flexible, and that way you can get rid of someone's weakness easily. Next up, Zoro. He as well has not that many drawbacks though. He has a 3 times attack boost, 2.5 times if you can kill someone before, and HP boost, so he's a really consistent legend with 100% clear rate. Awesome special as well. Slasher is it's actually pretty good class. They have nice subs, and you can, if you have a lot of Slasher legends, Slasher will become a top tier class for you because you have that 6-star Kizaru who will give you full matching orbs. You can use someone like 6-star Cavendish as a sub, sometimes Inuarashi as a sub, Legend Inuarashi, and other stuff like Dofi is a Slasher. Who else is Slasher? I forgot someone. Raid Boss Cavendish obviously is nice. So yeah, they don't have a big full healer and a really nice delayer, but other than that they're actually pretty strong. And the problem here is that when you have some enemies that you can't burst in the first turn because of some shitty paralyze or something like that, then you will get into trouble because you lose out on a lot of damage. Next up, Gear 4. He has a lot of damage and a nice special though. You don't need an orb manipulator due to that, and you eat pretty much no damage when you have your special activated. But his drawback with getting locked is actually just doesn't make him as good as Timescape Luffy. And Fighter at the moment isn't as good as most of the other classes because they don't really have some OP attack boosters, like they lack on a good attack booster. Because they only have these 1.75 booster for 1 turn. They only have one guy who boosts the attack for 1.75 for 2 turns, but only if you're under 30%. So yeah, they don't really have a real good attack booster. But other than that, Fighter is obviously good with Gold Poster Ivankov and Elisabello, or who else do they have? Sabo, Raid Boss. But I think they kinda need a new attack booster, and maybe I forgot what I wanted to say. What do they need? An attack booster and a health cutter maybe, because they don't have a health cut either. But yeah, Gear 4, back to Gear 4, awesome legend, but because of his drawback, which can be pretty big, he's only on the 8th place here on this list. I don't think that he's the best unit for Colosseums because you can't use his captain ability in stage 4, most likely. So that way, because you can't switch up, like you can't say, okay, I use one Gear 4 special here in stage 4 in the Colosseum, and stage 5 I use the other Gear 4. That just doesn't work with Gear 4, because then the other one is already locked. You have to always use them at the same time. That kinda sucks. But other than that, awesome legend. He cleared everything, so he's definitely strong, and as we all know. Next up I have Fujitora on a 98% clear rate. Oh my god, why is he over gear 4 and stuff? Well, that's because he actually has a 98% clear rate on game width, but he actually can clear everything. They said, or they just don't have him listed on clearing Blackbeard. He can't clear Blackbeard Forest, that's what they said, but I've seen a video where someone made a really weird team, but it worked out easily for him with a Fujitora slash Shirahoshi team, and as subs he took who did he take as subs? Shiryu Colosseum, Bartolomeo 6 star, and wait, these are the yeah, that's it, and Shiroshi as a sub. So these are kind of weird picks, but it worked out really well for him. I didn't see him dropping low once, and he cleared stage 20, which is Blackbeard with over 8 million HP without using Fujitora special, but he had it up though, so he cleared it easily. And he's over Zoro and Gear 4 because of his special. It's just crazy how good this special is. If you take a look at how I beat Whitebeard Invasion with double Fujitora the first time, I just used the 2 Fujitora specials and chilled. And then once Whitebeard was around 20%, I started bursting. So awesome special, awesome captain ability as well. And yeah, I love him, I have him. And he's awesome, man. He's a blind OP mofo. Next up we have the Neko Mamushi with his crazy 3.75 attack boost, and even though he has such a crazy attack boost, he even gets a HP boost, man. But his special is decent. It's not too OP, but it's good because that way striker or people with him don't have to rely on having Shiroshi to have a decent full orb, full matching orb team without having Shiroshi. Kinda sucks with striker. Damn, what am I talking about? But I think you get it. And he has a big drawback that he doesn't deal damage with the Cavendish invasion debuff. But he still cleared Cavendish invasion debuff, which is crazy. Because he's striker. He is that high because you can combine him with Shirahoshi and other striker legends, so you can get rid of this drawback quite easily. And I think Shirahoshi has a 2.25 times attack boost, so even if you combine him with Shirahoshi, you still have a higher attack boost. So when you combine, imagine this, guys, you combine him with a freaking Shirahoshi with a zombie captain, you still have a higher attack boost than a 2.5 times attack boost captain would have. So I think that shows you enough. So you can actually go with a zombie team that has a ton of burst in it. I mean, he's crazy. I want him. He's awesome. Also in the anime. Next up, Blackbeard 2.75 attack boost. He is a universal booster. You can combine him with so many units, especially extremely strong units, but I want to tell you guys 2 units that you can combine him with pretty well, but I haven't seen people doing this yet. But these 2 units didn't get mentioned yet, so I don't want to spoiler. Don't want to play spoiler here, but Blackbeard, awesome unit. I mean, they made these barriers to make the game a lot difficult, more difficult, and then they just released him, and for him everything was easy, and for the others it was difficult because the barriers were what made everything so hard. So they kind of stopped doing so much barrier things now, but still awesome captain who has consistent HP and attack boost with a nice special as well. Next up, Akainu. I'm not sure if he should be that high on this list, but yeah, Akainu, 3.94 times attack boost with red orbs. So he's pretty much a only strength captain, even though he's universal. If you use other units, you have to take someone who makes the other orbs beneficial, like Gear 4, and then you're fine. But yeah, Akainu, everyone knows that he's strong. His special is actually pretty good as well for some stage 4 in Colosseum, so he has a good Colosseum clear as well. And he doesn't have HP boost or damage reduction, which may kinda suck for stalling, but still he's able to clear everything. But his special isn't too amazing, and his captain ability does have some drawbacks though. That's why he's not higher on this list. And moving on, we're going to Eminem. So why the hell is he so high? Because he's just awesome. I mean, he's the rap god, you know? And the god has to be high up on this list. No, I mean, he has a lot of drawbacks and a lot of positive things about him, and all the positive things about him, they oh man, you saw first place, please don't look. Oh man, what can we look and listen to here? Okay, that's a good one, you know. So NL has a lot of drawbacks and a lot of good things, but so you have the drawback that you have low HP. Well, that kind of sucks, but you can balance it out with some damage reducers. You're a universal booster, you can take damage reducer if you want. If you don't have a slot free to have a damage reducer, you can combine him with a HP captain. Because he's a universal captain, you can combine him with so many people, so you will have a decent amount of HP that way. You can actually combine him with Blackbeard. He's a striker shooter, so you only need 2 classes more and then your Blackbeard team is already done. Or you can combine him with all these other striker captains or Stronghold Ace or something like that, who's a shooter obviously, or some other universal captains. And now you could say, well, he has the drawback with the Raid Boss Akainu thingy that you can't heal. Well, then you can take your Kobe, your War Hero Kobe, not the War Hero Kobe, the Rare Recruit Kobe, who gets rid of it. Well, you can say, well, then you lose out on damage when you have to use him. Well, that's true, but he's a universal booster, so you don't lose out on too much damage. And because with him you deal pretty much all the damage with his special anyways, so it doesn't really matter if you lose out on damage. You pop your special and the raid is cleared, you know. He has awesome special, awesome captain ability. He's actually obviously not the fastest in clearing stuff, but he can clear all the stuff that's out, and I mean, pretty good. Next up, I have 2 legends. Probably everyone knows who are these legends or who are they going to be, but no one really knows who's first and second place. So second place goes to Time Skip Luffy. Oh, he's pissed that he's only second place. Oh man, so sad. He's a better version of Gear 4, Free Spirit Battle Class, has a damage reduction in his captain ability, which is actually pretty good, trust me. And you have an awesome attack booster in Free Spirit with 6-star Sabo. Well, everyone knows how good he is. He has pretty much no drawbacks, and unlike Gear 4, you can say in stage 4 in the Colosseum, use his special in stage 4, one of his specials. Then you have a 10 times attack boost, which is still higher than a 3 times attack booster. 2 3 times attack boosters, so when you pop 1 times with Luffy special. And then after this you can take use the other one in stage 5, and then you have a 10 times attack boost again. So the damage up, he definitely doesn't lack on damage, and he doesn't lack on anything. The special isn't obviously the best, but it's not too shabby though, and you can work with it easily. So you don't really need an orb manipulator combined with that invasion Shanks who get a lot of matching orbs. You're not guaranteed to get full matching orbs, which kinda sucks, but I think on global he's the best legend, on Japan second best. Sucks for you, man, but first place goes to Sanji. Now, don't argue with me. In my opinion, this is a clear first place, because Sanji doesn't have any drawbacks. He is a universal booster, so you can combine him with anyone. He's a powerhouse fighter, and powerhouse, you already heard it, you can use a powerhouse team Rocketman, so that way, same goes with Akainu, by the way, Legend Akainu. The reason why he still can clear the forests not too hard, or the forests aren't that hard, even though he doesn't have a HP or boost or damage reduction on his captain ability, is because the powerhouse ship just heals you back up so much that you actually don't really need this when you're a powerhouse captain. And yeah, he's a universal booster, 2.5 boost, so you could argue, well, he lacks on damage. That was my first thought as well. I was like, maybe he lacks on damage, but you can take any sub that you want, which is crazy good. You can combine him with any captain that you want, which is also good. And he doesn't even lack on damage because of his jump ability. You get 2.5 times the extra attack, and when you're in the air, you can't even get locked or silenced or paralyzed, which is awesome as well. Then a 2.5 times attack boost. Combine this with your attack boost from your special ability, which is a 2 times attack boost. Gets you a 5 times attack boost on your Sanji, and trust me, you won't lack on damage. I've seen people using a Sanji Gear 4 team against Fujitora raid boss, and he just bursted that Fujitora or raid boss in one turn. And how did he do it? Well, he attacked, and in the end, Sanji's attack did over 10 million damage. Only Sanji's attack, so that shows you how much damage he actually can deal with this 5 times attack boost. And you can use a special in stage 4 to clear Colosseum stage 4, so he has a good Colosseum clear as well. And his jump ability doesn't have any cooldown, which is crazy. His special is actually better than the Cavendish special because of your jump ability, but only if you are the captain. In my opinion, it's better than Cavendish special, only if you have Sanji as the captain. But yeah, I mean, awesome legend, isn't it? Then I have a few honorable mentions that I want to share with you guys. What do we have here? Well, I don't have some music now. What could we go for? For a good ending, we take this one for a good ending, you know what I'm saying. So I have a few honorable mentions. First of all, Inuarashi, awesome unit, but not the best unit obviously, but he's awesome. Also really good for Colosseum clear and awesome special. He barely didn't make it in the top 15. Then we have The new 6 plus Shanks, who is actually a lot stronger than everyone thought he is, because he cleared already every single forest. They didn't test everything on him yet, so you can't really tell if he's 100% clear rate or not, but I think he will get to 100% clear rate. You can say that they will get on to 100% clear rate when they have cleared all the forests, all the invasions, and Fujitora raid boss. Then they definitely go to 100% clear rate. But the reason why he's still not on this list is just that he barely clears everything. He always just barely clears it, but he clears it. He just lacks a bit on damage with this 2.75 attack boost. And that you're not really versatile of taking other things that than Psy. Kinda sucks, you know. Then someone else that I want to mention is Hody Jones. He is obviously awesome speedrunner for Colosseums, outclassed by Neko Mamushi. Neko is actually faster than him, but he can clear a lot of stuff, as you can see, and awesome legend, and it has a good special as well. Then Sabo, awesome. Since I have him, I want him to get the 6-star plus, because we didn't get a 6-star plus for a few months already, and he is on 100% clear rate ever since 6-star plus Sabo was out and time skip Luffy was out, because you can combine these two so well as together. But he kinda is just a worse version of time skip Luffy as a captain. Then Kizaru, awesome captain and sub for multiple teams, and he just isn't the best captain. But he's good, like he's good everywhere, but not really overpowered. So that's why he's not on the list, but I want him as well. Then we have Cavendish, in my opinion, just a bit of a worse version of Sanji. By the way, Sanji, you can combine Sanji so good with Blackbeard because they're both powerhouse, and Sanji is already fighter. Then Law gets outclassed as a captain from Timeskip Luffy and Log Luffy in Free Spirit, and outclassed in Slasher from Zoro, and his special sucks. Then Corazon, I just don't like him. Barto himself isn't actually too good, but ever since Shiroshi came out, he got pretty overpowered, or just pretty strong. He has to get mentioned as well. Ace, same with Ace, since God NL and God Usopp came out, he went from 90 to 100%. That's all I wanted to mention, I guess. He's strong as well, as you can see. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a good idea on which legends are the best now. And I hope I see you again. Well, you actually can't see me anyways. Dude, I'm tired, you know. I'm out. Peace.